You thought it was over. The fear was done. But it's not even over yet. The month of Gorror continues. Ah!
Gonorrhea, 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 gonorrhea.
Isn't awesome.
Gorror.
God he reigns.
Welcome to another review for the month of Gorror. This is number 9, and this time I am taking a look at the 1976 version of Carrie, the first adaptation of Stephen King's novel, but won't be the last because, of course, the remake is coming out today, which is the main reason why I'm reviewing this now. I'm going to review that movie later tonight, but right now you get the original Carrie. What's up? So everybody knows what the story is, but I'll briefly explain it anyway. Let's talk about the story. The story for Carrie follows, of course, Carrie, played by Sissy Spacek, who is a tortured, like, 16, 17-year-old girl. She's in high school. Everybody makes fun of her. Right in the beginning, she has her first ever period, and everybody's, like, throwing tampons at her and going, "Ah, you suck, Carrie. Eat shit." Like, that's actually a quote. "Eat shit, Carrie." That's a great quote. But it actually made me really laugh. I shouldn't have, but I laughed. And you feel bad for this girl, especially since her mother, played by Piper Laurie, is a crazed, like, you know, she's a crazed God fanatic, you know, I don't know what they're called, but she's really into God, and she's just crazy. Like, right when Carrie comes home from school, she's just like, go in your room and pray, and smacking her around and stuff. So Carrie doesn't have a great life. And of course, everybody knows where this is leading up to: the big prom. Someone asks her to prom, she becomes the prom queen, and of course, you know what happens. She has telekinetic powers. I think I forgot to mention that. And shit goes crazy. So there you go. There's the story for Carrie. I have not seen this film in an extremely long time. Probably since I was like 11. I used to watch some screwed up stuff when I was a kid. But I haven't seen it in a very long time, so I didn't know what to expect. Was it going to be outdated? Was it just going to be bad? I don't know. I know it's supposed to be classic, but that doesn't mean it holds up. I watched it, and I'm glad to say that I'm really happy to say that it does hold up, even though there's parts where it just felt like, or that could have been edited out, or that's extremely 70s filmmaking, like montages, or there's even a part where they speed up the audio, so people are talking and going in fast motion and stuff. There's a lot of moments like that where I'm like, okay, that's very 70s, or even 80s. This is from the 70s, but they probably did a lot of that stuff in the 80s too. But there's a lot of stuff like that, filmmaking wise. But here, you really do like the character of Carrie. At first, she's tortured. I mean, there's nothing wrong with her. I mean, she's a weird looking kid, but there's nothing really wrong with her. It's not like she friggin', I don't know, eats babies or something. She's just a kid that gets tortured by not only her mother, but pretty much everybody in high school. And you really do care for her. Sissy Spacek does a great job of portraying her at first as a kid that's, you know, tormented. She does a great job there. And then later on, when she's like actually starting to become a little bit more happier, she gets, you know, the prom queen, you know, crown and stuff. She's all like, "I'm so happy." You feel good for her. And then, of course, the prom scene happens, you know, later on in the prom scene. And then she's terrifying. She has a blank stare that's just like, "I'm going to kill everybody." And I'm like, damn, she portrayed all three of those perfectly. You know, sad, happy, and fucking angry. And I thought she did a great job here. She is great as Carrie. Piper Laurie as her mother, even though her role isn't as big as I remembered, she is really good here too, and very scary. There's one part where she has a knife and she's just like walking and the camera's like following her while walking, and she's just like, just smiling. I'm like, with a knife like this. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm creeped out. It was pretty creepy. There's parts in this movie that are very unsettling, especially in the beginning when everybody's throwing tampons at Carrie because she finally had her period, and she has no idea what a period is because her mother sucks. So there's a lot of really upsetting, very unsettling moments in this film, and especially at the end when the prom scene happens and she just unleashes her telekinetic powers. Some people might be like, hell yeah, everybody deserves it. If you haven't seen the film, I saw the film, and to be honest, a lot of those people did not deserve it, especially since not everybody was, I don't want to spoil it, but not everybody was laughing at her at that moment. That's all I'm just going to say. It's an old movie. It's, you know, everybody knows how it really ends. But I won't spoil anymore. I'll just say this. It's actually kind of screwed up, and I like that they do that. They don't just make it like, oh, everybody deserves to die, and it's just a straight up slaughter fest, and you don't feel anything. At that moment, I was just like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I like the character of Carrie anymore. I don't know, but I'll just leave it off there. I think it's a very well done film. There is problems with it, especially with Brian De Palma. For some reason, he feels like he needs to film high school girls doing a lot of, you know, risque things back in the 70s. Like, in the beginning, the shower scene, you see everything. Bush, friggin' boobs, whatever, everything. But later on in the, you know, well, but later on in the film, there's a whole montage of them, just a bunch of girls just running in place in gym and stuff, and there's no point of that scene being that long. But I think it was just because he likes to see girls in, you know, tight clothing run around, which, hey, that's cool with me, but it went way long. But besides some of that stuff, it is a little bit dated with some of the filmmaking, blah, blah, blah. But the story itself is very well done. The acting is great. It's very disturbing at times. It is very creepy, too. So overall, I think Carrie still holds up for a movie that's almost 40 years old. Definitely go check it out. I'm going to go head out and see me some remakes. So I'm going to give it a 34 out of 40. Not as good as it probably was back then, but still very good. So there you go. There's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you and goodbye.